we finally have the full results of the election that happened on the 3rd. So it's the 13th, 10 days ago, the entire nation went out to vote, and we have been counting ever since to try to, of course, get the final results tallied. And we have them. You're not going to be surprised to find out that Biden is still the winner. We have two breaking calls as of recording this. Donald Trump has won South Carolina, the final tally, and Joe Biden has picked up Georgia. So that's actually good news considering we've got a couple of runoff races that will be happening very soon. And so those runoffs, very interesting. So that will control, of course, the Senate, control of the Senate. And that and really control of the Senate is very, very important, especially when you're considering a stimulus proposal, for example, to deal with COVID, as well as a lot of other really, really important things. You've got, for example, confirming justices, cabinet members, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so, look, this is a good news. This is a good sign for Georgia. So maybe those special elections, we've got those runoff elections, we've got Raphael Warnock, of course, and John Ossoff. Those two Democrats will determine if the Senate gets flipped blue. So, all right. Anyway, more stuff, right? And so this is really kind of calling it's over for Trump. And we've known that for a while, but for some reason, Donald Trump does not seem to know that yet. But here is more indisputable. And by the way, indisputable facts. OK, Donald Trump doesn't know this. And a lot of his fans don't seem to know it either. But again, here's some indisputable facts, right? Biden has 306 electoral votes. That's it. Donald Trump ends with 232. That's all the states have been called. Electoral College massively going to Biden, as well as, of course, over 5 million votes. The popular vote went to Biden as well. And so it's over. Those are insurmountable for Donald Trump. He's not going to be able to win this. And not only that, you have the Arizona lawsuit, right? Donald Trump has tried to overturn the results in Arizona. That has ended. President Trump has stopped that lawsuit. He has pulled out. Not only that, but he has abandoned his voter fraud hotline. We're not doing that anymore. That's probably because he got, the prank. He got pranked. And that's great. That's awesome. And then he also told Geraldo that he will do the right thing. Hopefully the right thing means that he will, oversee a peaceful transition of power on January 20th, although I'm going to talk about that in more detail in another segment. That said, we also have a law firm that is representing Donald Trump in one of his lawsuits, Porter Wright. They have abandoned his legal challenge in Pennsylvania. We'll have more details on that later. According to the New York Times, the law firm said in a federal court filing that plaintiffs and Porter Wright have reached a mutual agreement that plaintiffs will be best served if Porter Wright withdraws. And so this is the same law firm, of course, where the lawyers were starting to get a little bit embarrassed because these alleged voter fraud lawsuits, every time they go to court, they're asked to present evidence that they don't have. And so they're basically embarrassing these lawyers, because they can't lie under oath, because that means that they have committed a federal crime. And so they can't go and repeat Fox News talking points to say, there's fraud everywhere, without actually being able to prove it. And so there's that. And then there's more. Pennsylvania has decided that they will not do an election recount. And then in Michigan, a judge has rejected yet another Republican lawsuit over the election. And this is Wayne County Judge Timothy Kenny. And basically what he has done is he has denied a motion from Republican challengers to halt the certification of Detroit election results. That's Wayne County. That's a massive amount of votes, ballots. And that's basically one of the big areas that had Michigan go towards Joe Biden. So it was very, very important for the Trump campaign to try to stop the certification of these results. Michigan, of course, was one way a pretty thin margin, but went to Biden, and therefore a really big part of his victory as well. In fact, here in that ruling, they said that plaintiffs' affiants did not have a full understanding of the TCF absentee ballot tabulation. Judge Kenney had denied all motions, including one for an independent audit, and said that the interpretation of events brought forward by the plaintiffs were, quote, incorrect and not credible. And what was the situation brought forward by the plaintiffs? Those who submitted affidavits had questioned ballot transportation. So, we think that, there was something shady going on, when you were bringing these ballots to the place to get counted. And so there could be fraud there. They could be improperly marking ballots. But again, there's no evidence of that. And other suits involved people that say that they were not allowed to enter, or saw others that were allowed to enter where these ballots were being counted. Although the individuals have claimed that they were not allowed to enter because those poll watchers, which, by the way, belonged to both parties, they already had enough of them in the room. There were too many. So, but they went and they complained to the court. Well, wouldn't let us in. They wouldn't let us in. They wouldn't let us in. Well, why couldn't you go in? Because the room was at capacity. I mean, we do have coronavirus, so capacity for these rooms is reduced, which is a smart thing to do. You can't have like this room packed full of people. But they did have people. They had representatives from both parties, Republicans, Democrats, watching the polls or watching the ballots. And so they really didn't have a case. They exceeded the legal limit. And of course, that brings me to Pennsylvania again, where these lawyers had unsuccessfully argued that we couldn't have people in there to watch the ballot counters to make sure that we could verify the election results. Okay, well, how many people were in the room? A non-zero number. So there were people in the room. Yes. This was U.S. District Paul Diamond, District Judge Paul Diamond of Philadelphia, who questioned campaign lawyer Jerome Marcus about claims that Republican observers weren't allowed to watch the ballot count in Philly. Well, under questioning, Marcus conceded that there was again, non-zero number of people in the room. Diamond responded by saying, "I'm sorry then, what's your problem?" Oh, well, my problem is that the count is going towards Joe Biden and not Donald Trump. The problem is that we're not winning. There's not a lot of winning going on here. There seems to be a lot of losing. Not good. Not good for us. No, get over it. Like, you didn't win. You didn't win. Sometimes that happens. I know. Even to people who claim to be winners in life, sometimes lose. Look, those are the updates. Again, it is indisputable that Donald Trump has lost this election. Now, the only question is, will he really commit to a peaceful transition of power or not? Or are we going to have to drag him out of the White House kicking and screaming? I mean, that is the question. And we're going to eventually find the answer. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.